Okay, all is good. We're good. We got it all figured out. We figured out the unknown number with his family member. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We are going to do a Facebook Live uninterrupted now. It is all figured out. I'm very sorry. Thank you for being patient. It's like kind of embarrassing. I'm supposed to like have it all figured out and have life not get in the way for my job, but sometimes it happens, and what are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm Angela Dahlgren. Thank you for joining me. Let's start over. If you are joining me, please tell me where you are from. I think I've done a shout out to a couple of you guys. If you have asked questions already, please ask them again, because chances are I did not see them because I was so distracted with the phone number debacle. I have received a lot of questions from you guys. I think I got like 34, 35 questions. So I'm going to answer hopefully a lot of those today. Yeah, you have me for about an hour, so let's just jump right in. Now that we're distraction free, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee, calm down a little bit, and we will get started. Hello, Beverly and David from Maryland. Hello, Lori. Hello, Shannon. Okay, I'm feeling good. I feel like we got all our ducks in a row now. And hello, Stephanie. Okay, hello, Zenobia. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay, I'm ready. And I haven't done one of these in a long time. I know that we haven't been consistent, and like I feel like my new motto is sorry for not being consistent, but between our Facebook Lives and our podcast, Brian and I are trying, but I feel like we're slowly getting our groove back. You know, our families are healthy, we're done with our trips, and we're getting there. We're recording 2 podcasts tomorrow with a special guest, so that will be very exciting. We have a podcast episode, a new one right now, about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It was kind of a question that I had about, you know, it's in the 2 Universal Orlando parks, and which do you choose? Do you go to both of them or do you pick one? So definitely check that out. Sarah said that she's really enjoying the podcast, so thank you for listening, Sarah. If you have not subscribed, I will link the podcast episodes below. I think that we've definitely come a long way. We've gotten into we've come into our own with the podcast. They always kind of, even with our videos, if you go back to our videos, Brian and I definitely started out one way where we weren't as comfortable in front of the camera. And now, you know, you see the evolution, even with the podcast, where we become more comfortable and our personality comes out a little more. So yeah, if you start at the beginning of our podcast to now, we've already grown. And same with our videos. I was a preschool teacher when I started making our YouTube videos. So if you go to the very beginning, I talk a lot slower, and it's like I talk in a higher voice. And now it's like I've had 4 cups of coffee when I film videos. I'm talking really fast, and my voice is like much like now, and I'm a little more goofy. So it's just funny how you change, you know, when you've been doing your job for a while. I'm getting distracted. Let's keep going. Okay, take 2, Beth said. Yes. Facebook Live, take 2. Oh, hi, Mom. My mom's watching. I love her. And Katie, hi from South Carolina. Okay. We got it figured out. All right. So first question. Will there be a soft opening of Toy Story Land invite for D23 members? If so, will all D23 members be included or just the gold members? Thank you very much. Enjoy your videos. This is from Tammy. Thank you for watching our videos, Tammy. Let's just talk about soft openings in general. So with these soft openings, first of all, kind of what are they? You know, the hard openings would be the land opening for everyone, for the public. The soft openings, kind of, I would best describe it as a trial run. So if they get the land completed and they have some extra days, this is the time where the cast members can get used to, you know, loading people and getting them through the queues. It's just their way of practicing before the land and the attraction opens to the general public. So if they do a soft opening, it just really depends on how early the attraction is completed or the land is completed. For Pandora, it wasn't completed super early, so there were only maybe a few soft opening dates available. Now, I think with Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it was done maybe 10 days early, so they might have had 10 days of soft openings. It really just depends. So, I don't know, by the end of May, maybe start checking our Facebook page and our Twitter. and start looking for information as far as soft openings for, you know, DPC members, the D23 members, things like that. It just really depends on how early Toy Story Land is finished. So I wish I could give you a more definite answer, but like I said, start checking back towards the end of May. They still have a ways to go, but that's just kind of how soft openings work. If the attraction is done sooner, they'll have more soft opening dates. If they're kind of cutting it close, it might just only be a couple dates, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, the coffee's kicking in, and now I'm getting like heart palpitations. I think I drank it too fast. It's just like a 1 cup. I don't understand. Okay, and I noticed I'm not quite as bright as I was last time, which is good. Okay, I was like really bright and washed out last time, so I think my lighting is better. Okay, all right. So Brian is saying hi from Florida, and Jeff said hello from Pittsburgh. 10 inches of snow fell yesterday. Oh, happy spring indeed. 54 more days until our Disney World trip and 114 days until our Disneyland trip. So you have 2 Disney resort trips planned. Oh my gosh, that is really nice. I am trying to see if I can get to Disneyland next year. I doubt it will happen, but a girl can dream, right? I haven't been to Disneyland since I was maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8, and even then it was not even a full day. I don't even think we were there at night. I don't know, Mom, you're watching. Were we just there for the day? I think we were. Yeah, we weren't there at night. It was just maybe a half day or so. Very young, so I haven't been back since. It's just that one time. Think of everything that's changed. I have so much to experience, and I have a whole new appreciation now than I did. I need to go back. We need to make this happen. Let's see. Vicky said, hello from London. Oh, I like London. I studied abroad in England for 4 months, and I definitely went to London several times. This next week, we will be on a plane to Orlando. Very excited. Love the advice. Oh, and Kara says hi. Kara, is it Kara or Kara? I want to make sure next time I say it correct. Let me know. Vicky, yes. Enjoy that plane ride. I hope you're comfortable, and I hope that you have a good time. Gosh, that will be very exciting. Jean said 18 days until Disneyland. Found that it's tough to be a bug is closed forever. Yes, a lot of people are very disappointed by that. And the Heimlich ride I heard was closing. Is that true too? I heard that it was. Did you ever get to go on that? Did you like it? Was it a roller coaster? Was it kind of like a kid one? Let me know about that, because like I said, going to Disneyland once when I was 7 or 8, you know, there wasn't even Cars Land. You know, it's just Disneyland. There's just the one park, so it's been a really long time for me. Let's see, what else? Oh, I missed some more comments. Jeff said this is their first time doing Disneyland. Enjoy. Oh, and Kara with a C. Got it, Kara. I'm going to remember for next time. Sarah with the C. I can remember that. Let's do some more questions. I'm going to grab a pen so I can cross out what I've already talked about, because I like to stay organized. Crisscross. Okay. So, Kimberly asked a question and said that she's doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for the first time in August. Any tips on the order to do things as far as characters, rides, candy, and any other tips? Thanks. You're welcome. So Brian and I have several videos on this. I think I've made 2, maybe 3 Halloween party videos, and Brian has videos on the best dates to go. He will be doing that again this year, I believe, for both the Christmas party and the Halloween party. Definitely check those out. I will link them after this stream, but I'll just mention a couple tips right now. So as far as the what to do first, it just kind of depends on what your priority is. If your priority is to meet the characters, because the characters are dressed in their Halloween best, they're dressed in costumes, it's very fun, then that's what you want to do first. And those characters don't come out till 7, but you'll want to, some people line up at 5:30. So, I mean, you know, if that's something you want to do, you might want to line up really early and get all that out of the way. You know, you'll see Captain Jack Sparrow, all 7 dwarves. You know, like I said, like Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy are all dressed up in their costumes. So if characters are a big thing for you, then that's what you'll want to hit up first, and you'll want to line up for those characters early. Just make sure that you grab a times guide so you know where they are located, and that will help you out a great deal. Candy, There's going to be tons of candy in the park, so I think going trick-or-treating isn't going to be a huge thing to focus on. There will be designated candy areas. There's normally like a blow-up kind of candy corn thing, or like maybe a light-up pumpkin where you know where the candy spots are. If you have food allergies or you're gluten-free or whatever, you can go to City Hall and get specialty treats there. If you can't have Halloween candy. So that's something to keep in mind, and then that way everyone's included and you don't have to worry about allergies. Any other tips? As far as the ride lines are going to be much reduced than a regular day at the parks. So if that's something that is a priority to you, obviously go for the rides first. If you don't care about the characters, then just do the rides and then whatever with the characters. But it's all about what your priority is. For me, I think that the fireworks are definitely worth seeing. The parade, definitely worth seeing. The second parade is usually less crowded than the first because people tend to leave after the fireworks, especially if they have kids who are tired because the party does go till midnight. So those are just a few of my tips. I will have more in, last year's Halloween video, and Brian has a few in his, best dates to go. Do you want a Halloween video for 2018? Please let me know. Please leave comments below if you want a Halloween video, and I will make that for you. And the party starts in August, so I'm gonna have to be getting going a little earlier this year, get on top of things. All right, let's keep reading your comments. All right, Stephanie said for the Heimlich, it's called the Choo Choo Train. Okay, so it was a train, a really slow kids train, but it was adorable. The script was cute. And Sarah said the candy lines get much shorter the later it gets. That's another good tip, Sarah. Thank you for saying that. Alan, Pandora rope drop video still relevant, or has everyone caught on and show up early now? I would say that it's still relevant. We still get comments saying people have followed our video for that or Brian's video for that, and it has worked for them. In fact, I got a comment about that 2 or 3 days ago saying that it worked for them. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, oh, my nose itches. Okay, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Brian made a video about waiting in line for Flight of Passage with no wait or with minimal wait. So basically what he did is he got to Animal Kingdom before rope drop. He probably got there, well, I can't remember now because I'm on the spot. But he got there before rope drop, and he, basically from the time he arrived at Animal Kingdom to the time he rode or got to Flight of Passage and rode it was 35 minutes. So that's really not a bad wait at all, especially when you're seeing the 240-minute waits. You're seeing 2 and 3 hour waits. So I really don't think that's bad at all. I think that's very manageable. And if you're getting there before rope drop, people are going to get to the park and they're going to go straight for Pandora. And if you get there before rope drop, you'll have already gone on Flight of Passage, and Expedition Everest will have a 10 to 20 minute wait. So you can do that. You can do, Kilimanjaro Safari. You can do all these other rides that are going to have very minimal waits because everyone's going to be in Pandora. So that's the benefit of kind of doing it that way. Yes, it's going to be a really early morning, but those are the benefits, is that all the other rides will have lower waits because everyone's going to be in Pandora and you'll have already done it. And then you can leave early and go take a nap or grab some coffee at Starbucks and go to a different park. You have lots of options there, so that's how I feel about it. Oh, and Katrina said it took us 35 minutes for Flight of Passage before rope drop. So similar to Brian's experience. Came home with 25 pounds of candy, Katrina said from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Yeah, you can definitely, I don't know, get your money's worth in candy is the best way to put it. If that is what you want, you will have candy for the rest of your trip and candy to bring home for sure. Erica said, is it possible to do Keys to the Kingdom tour and then Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in one day? Absolutely. It is absolutely possible. I have done Keys to the Kingdom tour and I would highly recommend it. I'm going to take a drink of my coffee because I'm talking so much and so fast that I'm running out of voice. I've done the Keys to the Kingdom tour. It is a behind the scenes tour. It is 8 hours long, which initially you will hear 8 hours and think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Am I going to be bored? You're not. It goes by really fast. We had an excellent tour guide. You learn about, you go through every land. You go through Main Street, every land. You learn trivia facts. You go on, I think, 3 or 4 rides without any wait. And you get to, you know, while you go on the ride, you have these earphones on. And you get to hear facts about the ride as you go on it, which gives you a completely different perspective. You get to go under, you know, through the utilidors. And I'm not going to give anything away about that. And you get lunch. Lunch is included. You get a special pin. And it is so worth it. I definitely recommend it. You know, we learned a little bit about the parade floats behind the scenes and what goes into even auditioning for that and training for that. Very cool. But I think it started at 8 and it was 8 hours long, and then you could definitely do the party. I will say it's possible, but you will be freaking exhausted, because if you factor in that the Christmas party starts at 6 and you go until midnight, and you got to the tour at, you know, 7:50 because it started at 8. That's 8 to midnight. That is one really long day. And when I did the tour, I did open to close, obviously, and my feet were definitely hurting. They were sore and I was exhausted. And that was like 9 p.m. So had I had to go another 3 hours, you know, I don't know, it would have been tough, but it is definitely doable. And now kind of wanting to do the challenge, but it's very expensive too. You have to pay for the tour, you have to pay for a park ticket, and then you have to pay for the Christmas party. Yeah, so that's a very expensive day, but it's possible. Susan, the times on the app is posted time, the time posted by Disney, and the estimate is what you guys think the actual wait will be. Just want to make sure I'm interpreting it correctly. So we have, now I have to remember the app in my brain. Okay, because I was just doing this when I was there on my work trip, and I was like submitting the times while I was waiting in line. So basically with our Lines app is, so Disney has their posted wait times, and often those times are increased, so they're longer than they really are. And the reason for that is basically if they're lower and you wait longer, the guest is going to be angry that the you know, times weren't accurate. So Disney would rather, I guess, have them be an increased wait and have you wait a shorter amount of time and not be mad at that. You know what I mean? Did I explain that correctly? So our waits are kind of more actual wait time, if that makes sense. We're not doing that elevated wait that Disney does. We're giving you a more accurate wait time. And then, you know, you guys can submit your wait time by tracking it on our app. I did that several times. It's actually really fun because I don't know, it just makes the wait a little more entertaining, because you're thinking like, okay, I'm almost on the ride. I'm going to push my submit button, and then you do. And then I did that for Frozen Ever After. And it was very close to the actual wait time that TouringPlans provided. So, and then you feel like you're contributing and helping, and I don't know. Okay, Katie said your wait times were spot on. Oh, and Susan, thank you for telling me that it made sense. Do we live in Florida? A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't live in Florida, actually. I don't. I live in Minnesota. Brian doesn't. Yeah, we kind of live all over the place. What's nice about our job is we can do it remotely, so we don't need to be in the parks all the time. Would I like to be in the parks all the time? Absolutely. I am lucky enough that TouringPlans sends me to the parks. I already went in February, and I will be going again, either around Food and Wine or around the holidays in Epcot, which I think would be a wonderful video series for you guys. I don't know if you guys know about this. I guess I knew, but I didn't really think about it. Each pavilion at Epcot kind of celebrates Christmas differently, or the holidays differently. So they each, I don't know, have like a storyteller that tells their own holiday story. So I think that'd be a really cool series to do for you. So I'm hoping that I get to go around then and get some footage for you. So yeah, and Julie, yes, I have your question, and I was going to answer that. Julie had a question. Is it better to book all 3 fast passes at 60 days out, or book 2 and then be able to add your extra ones one by one? Okay, so I actually, I have your question here. I just gotta find it. Here we go. So I would always tell you to book them make them 60 days out. I just feel like you're going to have more options at 60 days out than if you made them last minute, if you know what I mean. There's going to be more available. Yes, Disney does drop more, you know, throughout the times and even the day of sometimes. But make them 60 days out. You're just going to have more options, and then you can always modify them. And from a planning perspective, I'm very much type A and I'm a planner. I like knowing that my fast passes are there and done because it just makes it easier to plan my trip out. And I'm constantly modifying my fast passes up until the time I travel, and then even the day I'm at the parks. So if I am at the parks and I have a fast pass for I don't know, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, and I'm walking by it and I see that there's a 10-minute wait, well, that's like nothing. So I'm going to get in line for that, and I'm immediately going to be modifying my fast passes, getting rid of that one and then making it for a different one, because 10-minute wait is nothing. I'd rather wait for that and then get another fast pass. So definitely make your fast passes in advance, do them all. You can always modify them leading up to your trip and the day of. So that is my 2 cents on that. Or is it 10 cents? It's my 2 cents? It's my 2 cents. Okay. Kyle, you're a planner. I know. I don't come off as type A or controlling at all. Just ask my husband. I'm very laid back. Is there a countdown feature on the website? I believe it kind of tells you how many days until your trip, but I don't think there's like a countdown, like a really exciting one. I'll double check though. I always use it from like the work aspect and not so much like your aspect, so I will double check and let you know. And for those of you who are new to these Facebook Lives, I always go back and answer any questions in the comments that I might not address live, because I think it's important for your comments and questions to be seen by me and answered, because otherwise why would you join me if you're not going to be seen and heard? So I do always go back and look at these, and that's what I have to say. Okay. Oh, Darla, 10 cents with interest. That's funny. Okay. Katrina said, we did a last minute day before trip and got good fast passes morning of. That is very true. Disney does tend to drop fast passes, you know, the day of, the day before. My uncle got us fast passes for Flight of Passage in the middle of the night, the day before we did it. I mean, it's possible, and it does happen. I wouldn't necessarily count on it, but it happens, and it happens to people more frequently than you'd probably think. So it's all a good thing. But I would there's still value in booking 60 days or 30 days beforehand, whenever you can, because you're just going to have more times and options available. Okay, my screen went blank on my computer, which is really throwing me off, because from my phone I still see myself. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to assume you guys can see me. And we will keep going with the questions. Like I said, I have a lot, so I need to stop talking so much and answer your questions. Okay, Stephanie said, are pre-park opening breakfast reservations a benefit anymore with how opening procedures have changed? Absolutely. There is so much value in doing pre-park breakfast. I just did it on my work trip because I wanted to film a video for you about that and how many attractions you can ride without needing a fast pass. That is coming soon. I have scheduled it. It has been filmed. I just need to edit it. So that is coming. So that's coming. I need to wrap up how I like word things better. I really need to work on that. That's just not going well today. Katie said, going in September with a 9-month-old and a 7-year-old. Not sure if I should get a double stroller or let my older son go without. I've never done a park without. I would personally do a stroller. I am so pro stroller. It's like, it's just worth the extra work to me of like bringing it on the plane and checking it at the gate. It's just worth it. I know it's a pain as far as bringing it on the bus or wherever, but it's so nice as far as, you know, it's easier to keep track of your children, or if they don't want to be in the baby carrier or they don't want to walk, and figure it if you know you're going to be in the parks late at night and your 7-year-old is starting to get tired, he can just sit in the stroller and be pushed. I don't know if you actually said if you were, you did say he was a boy. So I would always bring a double stroller. You know, there might, if he likes it, but at Disney, he's going to be walking everywhere, more walking than he does on an average day. So just factor in that he's probably going to get tired and he might want the break sitting. And also, if you try it for a couple days and you're there late at night and he still doesn't want it, then leave it in the room, you know, and just bring like the baby carrier for your 9-month-old. But I am very pro stroller. And until my kids do not want it anymore, I will continue to bring a stroller because I am a stroller mom. And I'm proud of it. I don't know. I just felt like that's how I should have ended that. Okay. Did I answer that one? Yes. Stephanie said, I have a boy who's 4 and not tall enough for flight of passage. I am planning on taking my older boys who are 11 and 9 during morning extra magic hours. I'm afraid we will be in line a while, and what could my husband do with the 4-year-old that, you know, you won't repeat later, like doing Expedition Everest? I think that you should definitely do the Boneyard in Dino Land, USA. The Boneyard is basically a huge playground, and you know, there's lots of things to climb on, and there's lots of like steps to go up, and it's really, really tall, this tall structure. And so I would definitely suggest that. I got some footage on it, and I went with 2 friends who are grown-ups, adults, and they had fun playing on it and climbing on it. And it's a really good place for parents to kind of relax while their kids get their wiggles out. So I would definitely suggest the Boneyard. I think your 4-year-old will have a lot of fun. And then, you know, dad can take a little bit of a break and your child can have fun. So I definitely think that's worth checking out for sure. Okay. Let's go back to the comments. Darla said, get a double stroller. Your oldest will thank you. And no meltdowns until a few days into the trip. I mean, meltdowns are just inevitable. You're going all day, you're tired. I mean, it's just gonna happen. Erin, any idea what kind of security you have to go through to bring your own wheelchair into the parks? It's not that bad. It's really not. It's nothing like too insane. It's going to be similar to just regular security, so it's nothing that you really have to worry about, I would say. We stopped strollers at 5 years old. No need after that. You know, and that's the case for some kids. They don't want a stroller after 5 years old. It just really depends on your child and what's best for your family. So do whatever you think that you need to do for your family. I rented a stroller from a stroller company that delivers to hotels. When I was just doing blog posts, I did a review on I think 3 or 4 stroller companies, and I should link that. That's like really helpful for you guys. Yeah, so I reviewed 4 stroller companies, including Disney's, and kind of compared the prices and like how well they delivered. And what these stroller companies will do is they will deliver and pick up, you know, to and from your hotel. So you don't really have any work to do. And you can pick a double stroller, you know, vertical or the wide, you know, whatever works for you. And I had good experiences with some and not as good with others. I would not recommend the Disney ones. They are so hard, so uncomfortable. I mean, I know it's like, oh my gosh, I'm talking bad about Disney, but they don't have good strollers. They're not comfortable. They are not comfortable, so I would not suggest them. If you're going to rent one from a stroller company for sure. Okay, Jeff, we were able to secure a fast pass for Flight of Passage 60 days out. They were available later into the evening that same day, but only for around 5 or 6. I think we're going at a good time, and that's why. I think you're right, mid-May, that's a good time, and very nice that you got those passes. That's very, very convenient. Amanda said that her 5-year-old loves the Boneyard. She loves climbing up to the digging area. She could stay up there all day. Yeah, you get really high up, like nervous parent high up, but the kids are going to have a blast. It's very fun. Definitely recommend the Boneyard, and I kind of wish that Disney had, maybe a few more playground areas. Obviously, that wouldn't really work in Magic Kingdom, but I know that Hollywood Studios, didn't they have like a Muppet playground? Did they get rid of it? Did they close that, or is that still there? It's perfect for Animal Kingdom. Absolutely perfect. Hollywood Studios, it's a smaller park. I can see how that wouldn't really work. Right now, Epcot has one for Flower and Garden, and I think that they should keep it because it's a pretty big park, so that would work to have it there. And like I said, it's just a place where kids can get their wiggles out and parents can just, you know, sip their coffee, have a breather, you know, kids can have some snacks, that kind of thing. Darla says that she uses Kingdom strollers, and yeah, like she said, there's lots to choose from. And then there's ones that like Disney approved stroller rental companies. I will find that. I will find that link. Let's see what else we got. Dawn, mini seasonal dine or Mama Melrose? I will say mini seasonal dine if you want to do character meals. I just did that. I have a review coming. Ages 7, 13, 16, 19. If you want to do character meals, mini seasonal dine was really good. I went at the end of the night and it was dead and there was no one there and the characters were crazy. Goofy and Daisy, and I think maybe Donald were reenacting a scene from Titanic where like Jack and Rose were doing the whole never let go thing, and it was hilarious. And like there were maybe 2 or 3 other tables in the whole place. I think we had like a 7:15 reservation and the place maybe closed at 8. Oh my gosh, they were hilarious and so dramatic, and I got lots of one-on-one time with the characters. So if you do the mini seasonal dining, try to do it towards like the time the park closes, because the characters are just like roaming around all willy-nilly. They're interacting with each other a lot more because there's hardly any tables. I just like loved it. I was very impressed. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive because it's a character dining experience, but it was great. I had a really awesome experience with that. They offer a lot of good selections too on their buffet, and if you can pay a little more, get the Fantasmic package, Darla said. Absolutely. I mean, and then you can see Fantasmic and get, you know, priority seating. Let's see. Oh, and Julie was saying as far as the playground, they had the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids one, which is gone now at Hollywood Studios. Dawn said, anything special going on for May the 4th in Hollywood Studios? They normally do something. I don't know if it's been announced yet. I mean, it could have been, and I just wasn't paying attention. I will look into that and let you know. But let's go back to some of these questions, because like I said, we got a ton, and I really want to go through them. Natalie said, I have an 8 a.m. reservation at Akershus in Epcot. That is a princess breakfast. Princess meal. How early can I get into the International Gateway entrance? And how early can I check into Akershus? Hoping to get out right at 9 for rope drop. So you can get into the International Gateway, you know, whenever, because you have a breakfast reservation. They'll just probably scan your magic band and make sure you have a reservation and then let you in. I would say, you know, 15 minutes is probably the earliest they'll try to accommodate you for breakfast. When you get there any earlier, and they might not. So as far as when to get to Akershus, like how early you can kind of swing it, about 15 minutes is the max. But some people, you know, it works, but Disney normally says 15 minutes. Derek, for some of the big attractions, how long should we expect to wait with a fast pass? For Navi River Journey, that was probably my longest wait, that and Rock and Roller Coaster. And I waited about 15 minutes. Now, that was in February, so it wasn't incredibly busy. I can imagine that when the crowd calendar is at 10, that could be a little longer. If you have been in a fast pass line when the crowds have been at 10, please share your experience so other people can see how long you might have waited. But as far as, you know, this past trip, the longest I waited for fast pass was about 15 minutes. Trying to grind out these questions because you guys asked them and you're joining in the hopes that I'm going to answer them, so I want to make sure that I do that. Jeff said, how do you sign up for Jedi Training Academy, and is there an age minimum or maximum? Jedi Training Academy is a show that's about 20 minutes long in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and from ages 4 to 12, these kids learn the basics of being a Jedi and fight someone from the dark side, usually Darth Vader or Kylo Ren. So to register for this, you have to show up early, probably about an hour before the park opens, and you have to go to the registration area, which can be by the Indiana Jones attraction, but check the times guide because the location does tend to change. As far as, you know, showing up an hour before the park opens, you might think like, Angela, that's really early. But, you know, you have to go through security, and, you know, say Hollywood Studios opens at 9, they will let you in the park before 9, you know, so you can get coffee and do some shopping. So people will be in the park already. And even though the attractions don't open till 9, you know, people are already going to be kind of gravitating towards that area. So you want to be there an hour ahead of time so that you can, with your child, you need your child with you because they're going to want to talk to the kid at registration. So an hour before the park opens, and make sure that they're, like, you factor in morning extra magic hours as well, because then you'll have to be there even earlier. Okay, I'm talking really fast and now I'm getting all tired out. Okay. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm addressing your questions here. And I'm going to grab a drink. Which characters are at Esker House? Stephanie wants to know. Well, they're in their safari gear, if I remember. And I think there's, like, maybe Mickey and Minnie. I know Donald. And maybe Daisy or Goofy, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And, like Darla said, with the Jedi Training Academy, if you make an early breakfast reservation, you'll already be in the park. So you won't have to fight that security rush, because you'll already be in the park. So then that will make registering for that even easier. Did I finish all these questions? Can I turn my page? I think so. Vani said, heading from England for 2 weeks at the beach club starting July 11th. At Hollywood Studios, we have planned 2 mornings till about 1 p.m. and 2 evenings for Fantasmic and the Star Wars fireworks. What's the best way for us to tackle the new Toy Story Land on our 2 mornings, which is due to open June 30th? We have extra magic hours one of those mornings. We are prepared to get up early. Big thanks to TouringPlans for helping us avoid the lines for a decade. Well, thank you for following us for a decade, Vani. I really appreciate that. It sounds like you are very prepared and you are putting in the work. So you, like I said, are very well prepared and you're doing everything you need to. You're doing it all right. So, like I said, with the Jedi Training Academy, so this kind of segues well into that. Depending on the crowd levels, you know, I would consider arriving an hour before the park opens for the same kind of reasons. That being that people can get into the parks for that hour before to shop and get their drinks. So just much like Magic Kingdom, if you've been to Magic Kingdom for that kind of thing, it's the same kind of thing. So by arriving, back to the phone calls. Oh my gosh. So yeah, walk around, grab your coffee, or do an early dining reservation, and then get in line for Toy Story Land, and you should be okay, especially with those extra magic hours. But I would still get there, you know, and factoring in those higher crowd levels an hour before the park opens, even then, especially during the summer, especially within those first 2 weeks of it opening. Okay, whenever I get a phone call while doing a Facebook Live, I am so thrown off, and it just makes me all like, bleh. Okay, now, let's see. Jen said, looking to book a dessert party reservation for our trip in June, but no dates are available past May 27th. Any idea if there are new dates or something new is planned? Keep checking back. You know, they most likely just haven't updated the dates or added more yet because they do it in like 2 to 3 month increments. So they just probably haven't been added to the calendar or to the website yet, but keep checking back. They will probably add it soon. Rick said, I'm staying at All-Star Sports during spring break. When I'm there, Animal Kingdom has a 7 a.m. extra magic hour opening. Should I still plan on an hour from my resort to the park with Disney Shuttle, or will there be less of a wait or more of a wait since it's open so early? I would still plan for an hour just because the buses at the All-Star Resorts fill up so fast. Here's an example. You know, I went to Epcot and I wanted to get there at park opening, which was 9. So I got to the bus at 7:55 and it was so long for Epcot that I had to wait for 2 or 3 buses. That's how long it was. I got to Epcot, I think it ended up being at like 9:03. Keep in mind, I got in line at 7:55. And yeah, I didn't make it in time for park open. I was a little late. And then that being said, you know, Animal Kingdom is much closer to the All-Star Resorts than Epcot is. But when you factor in if you want to do Flight of Passage in the morning and the fact that, you know, I think you said are you going in June or something? Anyway, just factoring that, spring break, you're going over spring break, so the crowd levels are already going to be high. Yeah, you definitely want to get there as early as you can. And the buses, I think, run like an hour and 15 minutes before the park opens. So, yeah, definitely an hour ahead of time. Factor in that hour, especially with the All-Star Resorts. The buses, there's just so many rooms in the resort, and there's so many families that the buses fill up so fast. Oh no, did my computer die? Oh no, it's right here. I can see your comments again. All right, got that page done. All right, taking another drink. What time are we at? We're at 11:47. I might actually get through all of these questions. Any idea if Toy Story Land will be closed at the end of May? Someone kind of asked this question. Gina said, what is going on with Toy Story Mania? Will be closed at the end of May. Are you guys seeing something that I'm not? I didn't look up to see if it was closed, but I know that it's down to one track and it's not available for fast passes from like April 9th to May 7th. What is it? Did I get the dates right? Where is it? Yeah, April 9th to May 7th. It's down to one lane and there's no fast passes available. It's because they're like rebuilding the entrance for it, for Toy Story Land. So you guys let me know. Are you seeing something at the end of May? Is it closed? I haven't heard anything about it. So it should, as far as I know, unless you know otherwise, it should be up. You know, it should be available. It should be up and going. And you should be able to make a fast pass. But I don't know everything. I never said I did, so please let me know if something has changed that I just haven't heard yet. Also, Also, I love what Neil wrote. He said, related note, how do you wake up a teenager at that hour? I don't know. Let me know. 7 a.m. you have to be at the park. How do you wake up a teenager? I have trouble waking up and getting going at that hour. And you can't really give a teenager coffee, so good luck to you, Neil. I don't know. So no fast passes end of May for Toy Story Midway Mania. So they must have expanded it. So what do? Get there early then. Same kind of procedure for what we've talked about today, is just get there an hour before the park opens and head straight there, is what I would say. Thank you, Marion, for filling me in. Can't believe I hadn't heard that. I think we've been so wrapped up with the parking news and the additions of, you know, Marvel Land and stuff like that, that's kind of gone under the radar. I didn't even know that they extended that. So thank you for filling me in. Okay, next. Debbie, planning a 2019 visit to Disney, and we are staying at Shades of Green. Is the Magic Your Way ticket the best option for us? We are trying to stay on property for 10 days, but we want to have some days where we don't go to the park and do the pools and golfing and stuff instead. I'm thinking about purchasing a 7-day ticket, and this is our second time with our family. Thanks for all you do to help vacationers. Thank you very much, Debbie. And I think a 7-day ticket would be perfect. I don't know if you're watching, but are you thinking about doing the park hopper or not? Let me know. Either way, I don't think it really matters in what you're asking me. Because you're staying 7 days, you know, I'm assuming, you know, you're not gonna go to the parks the day you travel, either day you travel, and then 1 day in between. So I think 7-day pass is very reasonable. And especially with the pool days that you want to do, those will be really nice for halfway through the trip when you've been hitting the parks really hard and you just want a break. We are staying for a week in September. We're doing a Tuesday to a Tuesday, and we are doing the same thing. We're actually planning a beach day as well. And it's just to kind of break things up. I am someone who would hit the parks all day, every day, but I also travel with who I like to call a Disney curmudgeon, who he is getting a lot better, and I'm really proud of him, especially since we've had our kids and have traveled with them. He definitely is jumping on the Disney train a little more. But he is someone who cannot do the parks all day, every day. He needs to come back to the room or maybe go to the ESPN zone and kind of just decompress. He's not a full introvert, but he relaxes by having alone time. So going back to the room, or like I said, maybe watching sports or just getting a drink somewhere, that's how he relaxes. So we're opposites in that way, but I totally get it. So that's why we're incorporating a pool day and a beach day into our vacation this time. And we're staying a little longer than we normally do so that we can take it a little slow. So I think 10 days with a 7-day park ticket is going to be a good thing for you. Justin said we're going in June and are planning a couple days in Cocoa Beach. We are going to Cocoa Beach as well. We have never been. And for those of you who are in Florida, is it better to go to the beach on a Saturday or a Thursday? Because if we don't go to the beach on Saturday, we're going to go to Disney, which I know will be busy. So I don't know, like, should Disney be on the Thursday and the beach on a Saturday? Or should the beach be on Thursday and Disney on a Saturday? You know, I know what I want to do, but what would you guys suggest? Help me plan my trip. I need your opinion. I need your advice. Help me. So we're doing Cocoa Beach. I'm very excited for that. Andrew said, during early morning magic, if we do the rides in Fantasyland and then breakfast and are done before park opening, can we walk over to Space Mountain and be at the entry right at opening so we can be the first people on the ride? Or do they rope drop Tomorrowland off so that you can't get over there? So I originally read this really differently, Andrew. If you're watching, please feel free to comment because I might answer this differently depending on what you meant. So for early morning magic, there's early extra magic hours, morning extra magic hours, which, you know, if you stay at the Disney Resort, you know, those guests get to go for free. And then there's an early morning magic event, which you pay for, and then you get to go to Magic Kingdom early, and you pay for that. And I think there's like 3 attractions open, and you get breakfast. So depending on if that's what you were talking about, and you were talking about that hard ticket event, and then you're eating breakfast, can you walk over to Space Mountain and be at the entry right at opening? Yes, where that wait is, you're gonna have to ask a cast member, you know, where you're gonna line up for Tomorrowland. So I would just suggest doing that because it might be different. So you'll just have to ask them. If you're talking about extra magic hours in the morning, since you'll be able to just go right over there and ride after breakfast. But keep in mind that since, you know, it's open for morning extra magic hours, it's already going to be busy. The ride will have been going for a while, so the line will be a little longer. So I hope I answered that question either way. Let me know, comment below if you have more questions and I'll reply. Let's see. Oh, and Scott said, go on a Saturday, more options for the sharks. Thank you, Scott. That makes me feel a lot better for my 2- and 4-year-old. I really appreciate it. Alan, getting to water parks from Pop Century, what's the process for May? Probably just buses, I would think, right? Is that what you're wondering as far as, or you could do, you know, always do an Uber or a Lyft, which is getting much more popular. From what I hear. I almost had to do that for my 8:05 reservation to be our guest, but I ended up getting a ride from my uncle because he was on his way to work anyway, so he swung by and picked me up, and that was really helpful. Excuse me. Carolyn is staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge for the first time with a Savannah View room. Do you have a favorite restaurant at the resort? You know, I am so unfamiliar with Animal Kingdom Lodge. We have the option to stay there in September, but I let my husband pick because since we were staying so long, I decided I really wanted him to be a part of the trip. So it was between Animal Kingdom Lodge or Wilderness Lodge, and he actually picked Old Key West because it's a little more isolating and he grew up going there. So I wish I had more to help you with this. Can you guys help Carolyn out? What restaurants do you like at Animal Kingdom Lodge? You know, I hear a lot of good things about the more expensive ones. Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Doma? No, why? Oh, help me, I'm having a brain fart. Why, the 2 expensive ones that people really like, and there's a lounge in them, and like there's breads and wines. Oh, I can't remember, I'm done. Boma. I said Doma, Boma. Thank you, Amy, that's the one I was thinking of. Hear really good things about it. Thank you. Oh, okay, you guys came through. That's what I hear really good things about. But, and Sana, and Jeek, oh, okay. This is why I love interacting with you guys, because you always got my back here. But yes, please help Carolyn with that, because I don't have enough experience with that to give a really good opinion, but I know that you guys do. And Ellen said, as far as Pop Century, getting there to the water parks, direct or bus transfers. I don't want to give you the wrong answer, but I have seen that the water parks from the resorts do go direct, at least when I was there in February. As far as May, I will double check. but there should be direct. I don't want to give you the wrong answer, but there should be a direct bus for you. But I will double check because I don't like giving wrong information. Scott said, we took our 10-month-old into the ocean in Miami over the summer, put him to sleep almost immediately each time. That is so cute. My husband brought our 4-year-old when we were in Miami for a wedding. He brought her to the beach for the first time, and she just loved it. And then he made a video for her with the Alicia Cara version of How Far I'll Go from Moana. Oh my gosh, I cry every time I see it. It's so sweet. But my son hasn't been to the ocean, so I'm really looking forward to that day at the beach. Of course, like, the mom in me is having major anxiety. Like, what if they get swept into the water? Even though I'm only going to be up to my ankles, I'm sure. But we are really looking forward to that. Amanda said that Boma is a great buffet and Sana has a wonderful view of animals and the bread service is the best. I'm a huge, like, I'm Polish, I'm an Irish, and I'm just predisposed to love bread and carbs. And, oh, I would love the bread service. Oh, my gosh. I need to try Boma just for that. I'm not a wine drinker. I think it's Sana the one with the wine. Sana or Jico? I think it's Sana. So I don't think I'd be much of that, but I am wanting to try that bread very badly. So I answered Andrew's question, and I think we have a few more. I can grind these out, you guys. I only got a few more. If you're willing to stay and listen, I'm willing to keep talking. Marcia said, why can't I book Magic Kingdom dining reservations online on days that are scheduled for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party? She's buying tickets for the party. So I had to ask my coworkers. I asked one of them who's a travel agent, Heather, so thank you, Heather, for helping me with this. And this is what she said. They have held back dining on Magic Kingdom until the party dates have been announced. They should be opening up dining reservations during the party soon. Times and locations are limited. So that was her response from a travel agent who does Disney vacations. So she knows, she's legit. Let's see. Stephanie said, which dessert party would you recommend? Hollywood Studios or Epcot? I haven't done either. I actually have never done a fireworks dessert party, but I've heard wonderful things about the Star Wars one. Oh, I'm so itchy today. I keep having to shower because I've been going to jiu-jitsu, but it's really cold outside, so I'm just dry skin itchy. I've heard wonderful things about the Star Wars fireworks dessert party. I've heard you're escorted by a stormtrooper, I think it's a stormtrooper, and they have special, like, Star Wars desserts and cupcakes and things like that. Really great things about that. They have, like, a frozen fireworks dessert party at Epcot, as well as ones where you're on the water in a boat watching, which my aunt and uncle have done, and that looks beautiful. So you're watching it from the water, which I definitely would like to try. So as far as which one to do, I leave that up to you, the viewers, to recommend, as I have done neither. So Hollywood Studios for the dessert party or Epcot. I'd probably not choose Fantasmic. Do they have a Fantasmic dessert party? Do they? Did they at one point? I don't think so. They just have the dining package, don't they? Anyway, I wouldn't choose it for that. But Fantasmic isn't my favorite either. It's a good show, and from what I remember, I really enjoy seeing the characters, but I just like Happily Ever After so much more. Oh my gosh. They will never, I don't know how they'll ever do better than Happily Ever After. It was so stunning. I just love it. It's just great. Aren't they also limiting dining reservations on party nights to prevent people from getting a late reservation and taking advantage of walking around for free during the party? Technically, yes. You know, last year they decided to open reservations up for the Halloween and Christmas party so that people could eat in the parks, but they can't really do much other than shop. You know, they can't go on any of the attractions really, and you can't go past the hub unless you have a special wristband. So they're definitely kind of sticklers when it comes to that, and they do limit the reservations as well. So they monitor that okay. And yeah, even with extra magic hours, the same kind of thing applies. Is really you can only shop, you can't go on any of the rides. And like, I assume maybe Brian's watching, not all restaurants will be open during the party. Just certain quick service and, you know, only certain dining reservations can be made. Okay, I want to plan a resort hopping day for our next trip. This is from Lindsay. I think this is a really good idea, so I wanted to talk about it. What are some great places to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the resort monorail? So the monorail is in the Magic Kingdom Resort area, and it brings you around like the Contemporary, the Polynesian. Does it do Wilderness Lodge? Wait, I think maybe that's just a ferry ride, right? Oh, and the Grand Floridian. So there are a lot of great dining options for you. Now, if you have been and eaten at these resorts, please tell me what your favorites are. I think that, oh, Steve, thank you, Steve. I think that the Wave is very underrated. People really disagree with me as far as like, why would you eat at the Wave? I like it. I've always enjoyed my food there. That's at the Contemporary. And so I like that there. The Grand Floridian Cafe, I know a lot of people like eating at. The Polynesian, people love their food. You know, they have the, oh, it's not in my head anymore. I'm thinking, what, Jock Lindsay's, which isn't even in that area. It's at Disney Springs. There's Kona Cafe at the Poly. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the one that's at Disneyland too. Oh, someone help me. It's the one that's at Disneyland, and it's like with the drinks. And, oh, I can't think of it. Anyway, the drinks light up. And, oh my gosh, can't think of it. It's not in my head. And it was a big deal when it opened a few years ago. It's out of my head. Anyway, a lot of people like having drinks there. Trader Sam's. Thank you, Katie. Can you tell where my brain is at? Thank you, Amanda. Alex, thank you. Oh, okay. Why? I should have you guys on Facebook Live with me because clearly I am no help. But yes, Trader Sam's. You guys are coming through. But you guys like eating at Ohana. I see Amanda suggesting Kona Cafe for breakfast. I heard that they have a really good breakfast. And you can also get a Dole Whip at the Polynesian as well. But if you're looking for a good character breakfast, the Contemporary has Chef Mickey's, which I think that's a really great character breakfast. It is loud and noisy, but that's because there's a bunch of kids there and it's in the middle of the Contemporary. But I think that the food is good. I've always really liked the breakfast, and the characters are really, I think they just have special interactions with my kids. I've always had a really great experience. And then, like I said, I like the Wave, and I have had appetizers at the California Grill, but it is very expensive. So fair warning there. But I think that is such a cool idea, resort hopping, for just exploring and eating. So Lindsay, have a great time. What time is it? It is 12:04. I hear that my husband has picked up my daughter from preschool and he's with my son. So I think that I will answer maybe one more question and then I will let you guys go. But I've had a lot of fun talking with you, and thank you again for being so patient with my phone call debacle. So Susan is planning to be at Hollywood Studios on June 4th, and the crowd level is predicted to be a 10. Party of 8, including a father-in-law who is riding using an ECV and can only walk very short distances. My mom also uses an ECV or a scooter, for those of you who don't know what ECV is. I'm trying to decide if I should use a fast pass for Fantasmic or pay for the dessert party. Or will either of those even be beneficial if he's in a scooter? I have lots of experience traveling with someone with a scooter. Like I said, my mom has done it for several years. She has, I think, well, several autoimmune diseases, so short distances is about what she can do as well. So you will have, high crowds, and that is just, that's, the way it is. And definitely bring something that will prevent your scooter from getting wet, because those scooters cannot get wet, which you might know. So either a poncho or just keep it out of the rain. Make sure, like, if it's in a rainstorm, that you're inside. As far as, that the Fantasmic show, you don't necessarily even need a fast pass, and you don't need to do the dessert party. If you choose to do either, Disney is accommodating for both. You can either sit in the front row, or I think you can sit in the back with a scooter. If you do sit in the front row, I would just suggest waiting until most of the crowd is gone before you leave. If you don't mind being patient waiting, just because, with those high crowds, with a scooter or even strollers, you tend to get cut off a lot. And it's just very hard to navigate a scooter with that many people. And it honestly is a little scary when my mom drives a scooter. I know it kind of makes her very nervous when there's a lot of people around, because she doesn't want to run into anyone. She doesn't want to scuff people's ankles or feet. It makes her very nervous. And especially with those high of crowds. Yeah, if you just do Fantasmic and you are in the front row, just wait till the crowds clear out a little more, and then you know, you can leave. But I wouldn't say, if you want a fast pass, if you want to do the dessert party, go for it. But you don't necessarily need it. It is accommodating to scooters. And if you have any more questions, I have written up a post about using an ECV at Disney. And you can always feel free to email me at angela@touringplans.com, because like I said, I have traveled with my mom for several years and she has used one, and I can always ask her questions about it from her perspective. Maybe I can get her on camera one of these days. She's the sweetest woman ever. So let me know if that was something that you would like me to talk about more. And let's see, Sarah said, the minivans all come equipped with 2 car seats. They're in the back and they install them if you need them, I believe. So Rebecca asked that question. That is true. And what did I read about Uber and Lyft? One of them was going to start coming with the feature, maybe it was Uber, with a feature where you can request car seats and then you don't have to bring your own, which I thought was brilliant. Now, I don't know if they're gonna like meet the standards or how nice they're gonna be, but I thought that was a really good idea, because traveling with car seats and a stroller and your luggage is such a pain. So to be able to have them come in your Uber or Lyft, and the minivans, which I would definitely trust, would be really nice. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching with me, or watching me. I hope I answered your questions. I will go back throughout the day and answer more if I missed any. If you have questions or if you have ideas for future videos or podcast episodes, please feel free to email me at angela@touringplans.com. I'm also on Twitter at Angela Dahlgren, so you can always message me there. And I think that's it. I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Take care.